This is Liz Lorente with Fox News Latino, and with me here today is Michael McCabe, the filmmaker. And Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
You were recently with a crew that was working on a ship near Honduras, and what were they doing there? And you were there working on a film project with the crew of this company. What happened?
Well, they were just arriving into the country on a project. They're going to be not working off coast, but they're going to be working on the interior rivers, removing logs and clearing the river for navigation.
Right. So
this is a project that has been in preparation now for quite some time, but this was the first time down with the boat.
And these are U.S. citizens,
yes,
and working for a company based in Florida?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the whole company basically is there. It's the captain and 5 crew members that are there now. So, but yeah, they arrived a month ago on the 5th of May into the country, and were attempting to clear customs and immigration when they were stopped.
Right. Okay. Now they were stopped. Why? What was the official reason?
Well, in the area there's a Caratasca lagoon, and I mean, you have to look on the map, but the town of Puerto Limpiura is inside the lagoon about 4 miles from the coast. And there's a small inlet. And in the inlet is the Navy base that I guess they didn't know about at the time. But when they passed it, the Navy stopped them. And I believe it's Navy protocol there to stop every boat, even a canoe, and just to check them out, see what they're doing. So that's when they were stopped initially. The Navy did, though, let them go to proceed to meet with the port captain. At that point, everything seemed fine.
Now, they did have an arrangement and they had permission to be there, right?
Yeah, the captain was there in February to meet with the townspeople and to make all the arrangements with the government for coming in to do the research and, to do the recovery work. Oh. And so they had a contract with the mayor of the town of Awas, it's only about 20 miles from Puerto Limpiura. So they were there, had everything set up, but this was the trip to now start the project, to start the works project.
What were some of the concerns? I understand there were some concerns on the part of the crew about perhaps about crime, being the victims of crime. Can you explain what those concerns were?
Well, the concern in any kind of marine work is not so much in country. They weren't too concerned about working inside of Honduras. They actually had a security team from the town that was going to help them keep the boat safe. I mean, it's an obvious boat. They never get American boats in that region, so they had planned for security. Their concern was traveling from Florida through the Caribbean to Honduras. This was the biggest concern they had, and the area has a lot of narcotics trade, and there's piracy. The captain has dealt with piracy in the Caribbean before.
So piracy, narco traffickers, and so what did they do to prepare for this? Did they have something to protect themselves?
Well, they had weapons on the boat, and this has become the issue. They had weapons on the boat for protection in the open water, and they had arrangements with the port captain in Puerto Limpiura to meet with them right away. He told them he was bringing weapons. Everything seemed fine.
And everything was okay? Yeah. Everything was approved?
Yeah, everything was cleared in advance. He made it clear what he was going to do, and that he was going to bring some weapons with the boat.
Right.
Just for protection in the water.
Okay, so now something went terribly wrong. So then they were arrested.
Yeah.
And the reasons were why?
Well, I believe it was weapons charges.
Weapons charges.
The police officer just felt that he needed to arrest him. I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah, that they were illegal? That the weapons were illegally brought on?
Well, the concept he was presenting is that you're not allowed to have weapons in Honduras.
All right. So now they have been in jail, and you barely missed being with them, right?
I mean, if it was the first night when the police officer wanted us to go, then I fear I would have been with them.
Right, okay. So they're in jail, and they've been in jail since May 5th.
Yeah. Well, on the 5th they went in, and it's been a slow and steady. The 5th they slept at the police compound. The night of the 6th, the night of the 6th they were arrested and taken into the prison eventually. Right. And then There's been a series of court hearings all throughout the whole process.
What's being done about this? What has the U.S. government done? Is the U.S. government doing anything to intercede?
Well, I'm not sure to what extent. I know what people are saying, but I'm not there. I know that the embassy in Tegucigalpa, the American embassy, is aware. They sent in a little team of people to meet with them in the prison and check the conditions. I know that there's several congressmen that are involved.
How do you feel about this? I mean, you know these people. You were there. How does this strike you? What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's a shame. I think that there are people that do bad things in the world or try to do harm, and I know these men for about a year now, and they have nothing but the best intentions. They were excited to try to help the people. The town of Awas was excited it might bring some economic help to the region, and I just feel like I don't know why it's being made a big deal. I understand that weapons are a big deal, and I understand that the region has a lot of narcotics trade and issues, but the steps were taken according to what the local authorities told the captain he needed to do. So he followed what he was told to do. And I believe the interception by the police basically threw out all the conditions they had.
You went to visit them after they were already in jail.
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing, and under what conditions are they being held?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't spoken to any of them for about 7 days. I was told to stay on the boat by myself while they were taken away. And I talked to other people who said that they were doing fine, but I was concerned just because, I mean, nobody wants to hear you're going to a Honduran prison.
So you go there. Is it isolated? What is it like? What was it like when you got there?
It's a strange prison. It's small. There's maybe 100 men there and 4 or 5 women.
What are the conditions?
The conditions are, I mean, the town itself is struggling economically, so the prison doesn't get it any better than the town. But the worst part, in my opinion, about the prison are the nights, because at night they're locked in around 5:30 p.m. and they're not let back out until the next day. And there's no bathrooms in the cell, and they were all said if they have to use the bathroom, they just have to use the bathroom.
Is it clean? Is it filthy?
No, it's not. I mean, it's all relative, but it's not very clean. The food is very questionable. The water source is a well that's in the middle of the town.
How are they being treated? Did they say?
The treatment is it's a strange scenario. There appears to be one man who's an inmate that more or less runs the prison from inside. And he seems like, he is respecting the Americans. I mean, this is always a big question to me is, do people like you because you're American or dislike you because you're American? It has a big effect on how you're treated.
Right.
But they appear to be treated well. The problem is in the prison, there's infighting amongst other inmates.
Right.
And I heard that on about 4 days ago, the guards were shooting into the prison to break up a fight, and stray bullets and ricochets can happen. So I'm more concerned about something happening to them indirectly than directly.
What are your expectations? How hopeful are you?
Well, I'm hopeful. I tend to be a hopeful person. I'm an optimist, but they've been continuously let down throughout the process. It's always been tomorrow. They've been told at least twice definitively they're getting out tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and goes. I think they're starting to lose hope a little bit in the process, and that was we were all trying to encourage them. There's a process happening. There's an appeals. Let's let the process happen and see what happens. But it just is always tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. Something's happening or someone's talking. So I want to believe they'll get out because that's just what I want to believe. But I'm not convinced, and I know that the men are starting to lose hope a little bit.
All right. Well, Michael, you're certainly doing your part to try to heighten awareness about their plight, and you got lucky. You're not there with them right now.
Yeah.
So, and you're doing what you do. You're telling their story. Thank you for being with us today, and please keep us informed about any developments. This is Liz Lorente with Fox News Latino.